Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're going to be reviewing,
Twin Peaks.
the fourth episode, part four, the return part four. So I'll, so yeah, as we were kind of just discussing, for me, I feel like the kind of novel is wearing off. I like the start. I like the casino stuff, in terms of I mean, he's in the casino, he's winning the jackpots. He helps a scabby little lady out, and then he goes into the. He gets taken off Dunny by the by the security people, and then he goes into the back room with the guy, and he gives him the bag of cash. And then there's the whole, yeah, feel free to come back anytime. Obviously, that whole thing, like, yeah, you got real lucky this time. Come back with that cash, and you'll just lose it all again and more. So he gets taken back. Well, he bumps into Randy from My Name Is Earl, that big guy.
Oh, Ethan Suplee.
Yeah. So he was kind of in it, and then there was the whole thing like, yo, you're Dougie, whatever. So he kind of knows him. So I guess both of them kind of, you got to figure is a doppelganger. You got to figure this Dougie guy's been bumming around for about 24 years while he's been gone as well. So that's interesting. So yeah, it kind of gets
So
back.
Dougie just. Cause I get confused. Dougie was the one that got sucked into the room and killed or whatever at the end of the beginning of the other episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he kind of gets home, and there's like Naomi Watts. I don't know what her character name is, and then I thought that was cool because she's going off on him and blah blah blah, and she's going on about like the family life, like, oh, you're meant to be there for I swear the kid's got a strange name.
I don't remember.
Well, there's a kid's birthday party, Sonny Jim in it.
Think so, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And like she's going on about the family life and stuff like that, and like you were gone for 3 days, and yeah, and then she opens the bag and there's fat cash in it, and then she's kind of like bemused, like, what's going on, and then she's like, great, now we can kind of pay the debt. So I guess that's what the two guys were like last episode, the sniper guy and the bomb guy. So yeah, it's interesting though, because I guess they didn't like. I wonder whose house he was at when he kind of got whatever with the hooker, because that's not his house. That's not the house he went to. So it's interesting. I think that car's going to be like a plot device, I guess. You know, we ain't going to go back to that house, but then eventually someone's going to go there and the car's going to blow up. So I guess that cash is for them. And then he's kind of doing the family thing, and he's got the tie on his head having breakfast and stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff was. I keep on forgetting something. What's his name? Carl McLaughlin's.
Dale Cooper.
Cooper, right. For now, I'm not bothered. I'm okay with it, but I do have a concern with how long he's going to be, like, kind of nutty.
I think he's out of it now. I think that whole, because he used to be like gassed off coffee in the like original thing, and like he sits there and he goes and drinks the coffee and burns his mouth, and then he's just like high. You know what I mean? So I figure
I'm hopeful. Like, I mean, it's a dangerous thing, that kind of bit, because it's like to talk about a very completely different show. Do you remember Skins?
yeah.
24. They had a thing at the end of.
Tony got hit by a lorry, and then
Right,
he
at
was
the
all
end of the
like,
first season, and the second, throughout the entire thing, he was all Mongol, which is understandable because.
don't think you can say that.
Of course I can.
Like
It's
handicapped.
understandable. Is that? Yeah, I mean, like, he was, I guess, slow, which was understandable. He got ran over by a van or something, but if you drag it out for the entire season, then you get boring. So
it goes from funny to not funny real quickly. Right. You know what I mean? I guess the kind of situation is in, but now he's kind of away from that because it was like in a whimsical situation. You know what I mean? He turns up and like turns up out the plug socket. Is with this hooker, then he gets dropped in a casino. Then is bopping around the casino, winning everything, and now he's kind of like out of there to some sort of normalcy, as it were. even though it's not really normal to him or anything else. But I mean, yeah, he's got to kind of take that role. So I figure I'd hope that like him saying hi was an indication that it's kind of cured, I guess.
Hmm.
And then we go to Twin Peaks, and then you got the whole sheriff thing, and like the other Sheriff Truman's back from his fishing trip, and the other one's apparently like super ill, who I imagine was in like the original series. And then like Wally turns up, and I mean Comb Over and that woman are just super weird.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Uh, his Comb Over's crazy.
Hmm.
It's like really weird. It's like it's got the biggest patch of hair there, just like there, and then like a big bald spot there as well. I mean that's super weird. So yeah, and they kind of this is kind of the bit now where I was a bit turned off, as it were. I mean, I was just on like the newspaper now, and like just before we recorded this, and apparently like it got a standing ovation at Cannes, the like revival. But I didn't read the thing, so I don't know whether it was just like the first episode or first two bits or whatever. Because I mean, they show films, so I mean, whether they showed the first double episode and that got a standing ovation.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't have shown the fourth episode, I doubt. But
But yeah, I figure I, I don't know whether it plays to his advantage, whether he asked for 18 episodes or they just gave him episodes. But it's like, I wonder whether. I mean, with the music stuff at the end as well, it feels like they're just trying to fill like dead time. I
no,
mean,
I think this is what he wants.
18 hours of this whole
This is
thing.
what this is what he likes though. This is his thing.
Yeah, but
Like,
I feel
so
like they've kind of forgot about the whole box thing. I feel like they've forgot about Shaggy killing them people.
I don't. I think this is. I mean, again, we're both. Neither of us was exactly experts on the old show, but from what I can gather, this is what it was. It's the same with Laura Palmer. Like they didn't deal. They didn't even tell you you killed Laura Palmer at the end of the first season. They went about and talked about everyone else and all the weirdos in the town.
Mm.
That's what they're doing. They're going off. We
Yeah,
like doing this weird stuff about different people.
yeah, but there's not really much weirdos in the town now. I mean, half of them
That's
are
because we're not
dead.
really in the town, though, are we?
Yeah,
We,
that's what I
we go
mean.
to the town a bit, but it doesn't really matter. It's just spreading out and shredding the weirdos everywhere else.
Yeah, but there's not really many weirdos, and I mean, they're not going to
They're
be
all
of
weird. Everything's
detriment when he
weird.
goes back to Twin Peaks. Yeah, but I know that the whole Wally scene, Michael Cera on the bike,
That's weird.
and it just didn't do it for me. This is like probably the first time where I've just been like, come on now.
Yeah, I didn't really get it either. But
I've liked everything else. Don't get me wrong, I've liked everything else, but this bit was just like didn't work for me. It's like he was putting on some hammy accent. His name's like Wally Brando, and he's talking about the Godfather, and it sounded like he was literally just quoting the Godfather script, and like you could like the sheriff guy you could kind of watching him in the transitions. It was like he didn't even know what was going on either. He was just standing there like, come on, knock it off. Even he wasn't feeling it, and it's like if he ain't on it, how must I mean, if it's meant to be weird, then like the sheriff's meant to be getting gassed on it hook, line and sinker, but even he was like completely unconvinced, and I was
no,
just like,
I
well,
think that was. I mean, I'm with you. I thought it was weird. I didn't really like it either. But I think that was the point with the sheriff. I think he's meant to be like the audience. Like he doesn't understand it either.
skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really didn't work for me. And then I guess we kind of get to the FBI, and they're like going to see the doppelganger. They eventually turn up there, and then I guess it kind of throws a new mystery into it.
Well, before they saw the doppelganger, it was didn't David Duchovny show up as like a
Oh
transgender?
yeah, yeah, that was kind of good. That was super random, yeah.
It took me like 5 minutes to figure out it was David Duchovny.
Oh, I clocked straight away. That nose is unmistakable. But I was thinking, oh, that's pretty cool that he'd do that. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So credit for that. That stuff was kind of cool. But I mean, the shouty guy again. I mean, I guess it kind of explains it because he's got like a hearing aid and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and still they're doing the whole thing where no one talks over another person. That someone will say something, and then there'll be like a distinctive pause, and then someone else will
I
talk.
really think you're looking too hard for that. I've
I'm
never
I'm
noticed it.
it, I'm not looking too hard. It's literally like
Well, I'm not
no,
seeing it.
not one single in the past literally 4 hours of the show. Not one person has spoken over someone else.
No one does in TV. No one speaks over each other in TV.
Nah, but
That's bad television.
people interrupt. People interrupt if someone's saying something. They'll be like, wait. You know what I mean?
Hardly ever.
Come on, man.
Hardly ever.
It's
Watch a TV show and notice how many times they talk over each other. They don't.
it's really
That's not how
noticeable.
a script works.
Yeah, but there's not no distinct pause. It's not like you'll say something then just be like,
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
"See, there we go." That's what I mean. Just there.
No,
Now you have to give it another second before you say
I really
something.
don't think so.
I'm telling you, it's weird. And I mean, the shouty guy, I'm just sitting there like, why is he shouting? Then he's got like, I mean, the David Duchovny thing worked for me. I like that. I thought that was kind of good.
It's almost like
Cause,
watch. Go on.
Because that's like, see, that if you cut it into bits, like the Wally stuff was a real bad bit and not funny, but this bit worked. This bit
That's what I was
was
trying to
funny.
say. It's almost like a sketch comedy.
That's what I mean. Every
Yeah.
single thing's just like a bit. And everything's been okay so far, but that just flopped for me.
Sketch comedy, drama, and soap operas all mixed in one. Like they had the soapy moment with the guy who saw Laura Palmer's photo they did when they were pure melodramatic soap opera.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was bad as well. I was just thinking, this guy's trying his hardest. And
It
stuff
was
like
it was
that.
terrible. Also, it's clearly intentionally terrible though. It was
Yeah.
obviously overtly a melodrama soap. That's what this is. This dude is David Lynch throwing all these like weird things together. I guess that's why people love the show. I've always wondered what people banged on about. This is it. It's just this weird thing that's everything all in one.
I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't get tired on the way to the finish line. But I mean, really, it was just like, oh, he's my godfather. I've come to pay my respects, and he was just putting a really hammy accent on, and he looked real doofy as well. And I was like,
Yeah, I don't get it.
I could see how people would find it funny, but for me, it didn't work, and that kind of turned me off. So now I'm wary about it. Joe, when you kind of go for a patch where everything's great, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, yeah, and then you're kind of wary going forward because it's like if it's happened once. I mean, if this kid's gonna be in like a multitude of episodes doing that, I don't know. I think it's going to make me a little uncomfortable. So yeah, they kind of get to the FBI, the prison, and then it opens up. It's like some weird thing. It opens up and he's sitting in there, and then he's going on about how he's deep undercover, like with some guy, Philip Jeffries or something, that we've never heard of or anything like that. And it's like, oh, and they kind of believe it or whatever. I
But they
guess.
think he's the actual Cooper.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
Okay.
like it's interesting how he worked it because he could have just acted like, oh, I had amnesia, and they make a point about his throw up being poisonous, and like people who go near it, they kind of get ill or whatever. They made a thing like that. I guess it's kind of otherworldly, like kind of alien or whatever. You could look at it like that. Um, so yeah, they're kind of 1 and 2 in with him, and then apparently he's working deep undercover, and then it's like, look, they've got enough to hold you, so we're going to leave you in there. It's like, I kind of expected him to have powers. They also kind of like, back to like Dale Cooper when he's in the house, like the one-armed guy says that like he's tricked, so like I guess it was all part of the plan for like Dougie to go into the Black Lodge and for him to get out, and now either him or the doppelganger have to die. Now I'm expecting the doppelganger to have had powers or something. I don't see how it works for him to be kind of locked up in the prison, because surely if Dale gets his memory back, he's going to ring the FBI straight away. He's going to try and like get his stuff together, and they're going to be like, look mate, you're locked up in like a prison, And then what is he gonna say when they clock that? Is he suddenly gonna develop powers and break out?
I don't think he needs to develop powers. I'm not sure he's going to have superpowers. I mean, he might do. I have no idea, but
I'd
he can just
expect
say
him
he's
to have.
Dale Cooper and get out.
Mm,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
who are they going to if? But theoretically, if Cooper gets his memory back and claims to be Cooper, and it's between the two of them, who are they going to believe? Doppelganger's got years, 25 years or 24 years worth of history to back himself up as Dale Cooper. This dude has been locked away. He's got nothing.
Mm.
All he can say is in 1990 whatever I did this, and then he's got nothing.
Unless they're aware of Buki stuff and are kind of like, okay, that could work.
Okay.
Which I think they kind of are, so yeah. And then it kind of. What happened at the end? I swear they mentioned something about some woman who, like, knows him or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. And then they did, like, a long shot of, like, the woman FBI walk into the diner and her swinging her hips.
How'd you do?
Yeah, so that was meant to be some kind of sultry scene. So yeah, that covers the plot and our thoughts. So let's talk numbers.
I think I still liked it. I still liked it. I don't. I'll give it an 8. I don't know why I liked it. I don't quite understand what's happening. I don't really care, but I had a good time.
Um,
Again, I'll give it my Cera thing though. I still didn't quite understand what was happening there.
that's what I mean. So I want to see more of him to see if it's what I
I,
think
I
it
don't.
is. Yeah, if he's going to carry on doing that kind of stuff, no, I don't either. But I want to see if that's his shtick. You know what I mean? That kind of sullied the episode for me. But there were some charming bits in there, and there is stuff I like. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm interested in where it goes. But any more kind of bits like that in close succession is going to put me on a bit of a on the back heel, as it were. So I'll give it a 7. It's still high number, but I mean, it was nothing amazing. So yeah, I'm Sam,
I'm not.
and we'll see you for the next episode.